Okay, in this talk, we will introduce how to analyze, predict, and visualize network quality in a telecommunication company with Apache Spark. First, I will start from talking about how we dealt with network quality analysis on our radio cell towers, large-scale logs, focusing on previous architecture problems and our solutions based on Apache Spark. Second, I will introduce how we expanded network quality analysis to network quality prediction, which is a core part of detecting network anomaly and then handling device failures. Lastly, I will talk about how we develop geospatial visualization of network quality analysis and anomaly alarms in order to deliver the results more intuitively and comprehensively to operators. Okay, the first part is network quality analysis. First of all, SK Telecom is the largest telecommunication provider in South Korea, having 27 million subscribers and 300,000 cell towers. For network quality analysis, data workloads have characteristics such as time series data with timestamps generated for every 10 seconds in cell tower devices, and geospatial data with latitude and longitude coordinates of cell towers locations. In order to analyze network quality on time, data ingestion requirements were like 120 billions of records per day, with data retention time span of 7 to 30 days. And for the queries, web dashboard and ad hoc queries through JDBC required response time within 3 seconds for a given specific time and legend predicates. With our legacy architecture, which had been built with Apache Spark as a query engine and hard file system as a data source, we could not satisfy these harsh requirements. Hard file system was the bottleneck because I/O operation with very large block was very inefficient and hard disk's I/O latency was too high. We tried to make a lot of partitions up to millions on hard file system, but hard file system's name node could not sustain and sometimes crashed. So we tried to design a new architecture by replacing hard file system with a new data store, which can handle much more partitions, each of which has very small size data and which has minimal I/O overhead by using DRAM and flash SSDs as storage devices instead of hard disk. We adapted key value stores which are very efficient for storing small size data and searching for them, Redis for DRAM store and LuxDB for SSD store. In Spark Summit, we will introduce how we optimize these key value stores to DRAM and SSDs in more details. In order to employ Spark as SQL query engine, we implemented Spark's data source by using data source API version 1. As you can see, R2 relation class registers Redis as Spark data source. R2 relation extends pruned filtered scan trait in order to push down filters and projections to Redis LuxDB store. We use Redis's Java API, which is called Jedis, to push down filter and projection operations to Redis. There is no command to scan keys with column pruning, so we appended new command to Redis. The new command transfers filter predicates and required columns to Redis, and it filters out irrelevant keys and columns before returning results to client. Since we collect a huge amount of data with a single query, Spark driver sometimes throws out of memory exception. Most of most of the OM is thrown during decompressing and deserializing phase in the lizard stage. Previously, executing SQL query leads to collect functions of dataset. In collect functions, all of the lizards are decompressed at once, so we could cause memory pressure to the driver. In order to reduce this memory pressure, we created a new function to the dataset that returns lizards as view of Scala collection. By using view of Scala detection, the query result is decompressed incrementally. So we can save a lot of memory for the driver and can prevent out-of-memory errors. These are parts of our patch. We created a Spark pull request which applies this patch to the Spark script server, and the review is in progress. And this web dashboard is one of use cases of our database. Users can not only check wired and wireless qualities of all cells, but also query network quality of specific cell by using date and cell tower ID information. Web Dashboard also provides mobile devices quality analysis. We can check the distribution results of network quality in terms of mobile device groups with query conditions like legend, date. This is a batch query script with more complex and heavy queries. As an example, this is a Jupyter Notebook page to detect coverage hole risks. The second part is network quality prediction. We are not satisfied with being able to analyze network quality in real time, dealing with petabyte scale data. We try to predict network quality in near future in order to quickly detect and recover network device failures. However, there were three problems in network quality prediction. First, as a deep neural net method, RNN, model such as sequence-to-sequence has been known as a good candidate for general time series prediction, but the prediction accuracy was not enough, so we needed to develop a new deep learning model optimized for network signal pattern discovery. Second, training time was too long for us to afford. Each cell tower had different signal patterns for 7 key indicators such as RSRP, RSRQ, PRB usage rate, and etc. Because we needed to predict 300,000 cells signal patterns, it takes too long time to train a model like 400 days with a single GPU for all cells. So we needed to come up with a new idea. Lastly, it was too cumbersome to convert and feed the query data compatible to TensorFlow, so we developed a new data pipeline where the data can be iteratively delivered from Spark script server to TensorFlow directly in memory. First, as a deep neural net model, we designed a new deep neural net based on recurrent neural net and combined it with memory augment components in order to reflect the periodic feature of network signal patterns where the pattern is repeated in a day or a week. As you can see in the picture, we had a better result than sequence-to-sequence where our memory model's forecast pattern follows actual signal pattern very well. We can share more detailed neural network architecture and experimental results in the Spark AI Summit. Second, in order to reduce the training time, we try to make groups of cells with similar signal patterns by applying applying DNN based on supervised learning method, and then we train the model group by group, not cell by cell. We can share more details about the unsupervised learning method and accuracy results with or without grouping in the Spark AI Summit. Lastly, it is too cumbersome to convert and feed the query data compatible to TensorFlow. Previously, we needed to query to Spark and export the query results to file in NAS storage. Then we convert the file compatible to TensorFlow data type. Finally, we started train. So we developed a new data pipeline where the data can be iteratively delivered from Spark 3 server to TensorFlow directly in memory. We developed a new TensorFlow plugin module that can iteratively query to Spark as much as it needs for training and directly retrieve them from Spark 3 server. We can share more details about the plugin module and code examples in Spark AI Summit. The final part is to explain how we implemented geospatial visualization. For GIS visualization, we have used several APIs. First, we integrated Mapbox.geo with our architecture for vector tile rendering. The Mapbox.geo has also been customized for 3D graph rendering, which can help to make the analyzed data more intuitive according to the density of data. And we used Apache Levi to deliver WebLeakers to Spark application via REST API. Redis and RocksDB are used as Spark's data source, where filter predicates are pushed down to Redis and only associated partitions are chosen to be scanned. With this architecture, Spark can process 39 million objects per second in 5 server nodes for vector tile aggregation. But there was the problem with Spark because of too heavy computation for vector tile aggregation. So we have implemented a vector tile aggregation to be pushed down to Redis instead of Spark. We implemented Redis to convert geo coordinates and aggregates for vector tile, accelerate by using vector processing via IntelSimd after scanning associated partitions. Spark can process 780 million objects per second in 5 server nodes now. Compared with the original architecture, it showed nearly 20 times performance improvements in vector tile aggregation performance. We support geospatial-friendly data structure in order to reduce execution time for filter operation. For example, if there is a query for a specific geospatial region in a specific time among 1 trillion geospatial data with timestamp, with GPU data based DV, 1 trillion filter operations will be executed to check every data for satisfying filter predicates. But with ours, 1 trillion data will be split into 10 billion partitions, so several partitions satisfying filter predicated will be selected. As a result, only hundreds of filter operations are needed. This page shows that the visualization of network quality data based on location in 3-dimensional graph. As you can see the video, the height of graph means connection counts in the legend, and the colors of blue, green, yellow, and red mean the quality of radial network. You can see that data displayed on the screen is processed in real time according to the zoom level and the region. In addition, anomaly detection is supported as well. Anomaly will be detected according to the law based on the gap between actual measured signal and the predicted signal value. Anomaly alarm will be layered to the network quality visualization map as follows. Okay, this is end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.